G'day guys and welcome back to my channel. I've just been to JCar and I couldn't find what I needed. They had USB-C ports but not on a breakout board, and the pins are that damn small. I would need a breakout board or something to solder it onto. It would be an absolute... I guess I could etch it, but I just decided to just get the old school plug that this port natively takes, and we're just going to move this module to the side somewhere and cut a hole so that this can just plug in. That takes care of that problem. Second thing, they had no LiPo battery packs there. They only had lithium ion batteries and lithium ion phosphate batteries. The biggest lithium ion battery that will fit in this case is a 5000 milliamp hour. That will run this for about 6-7 hours, maybe a little bit more. Probably about 7 hours actually, yeah, now I think about it. That actually just fits there. And look, I'll take the corner off that heatsink or something, or put a little pad there so that it can't, from vibration, break through the plastic and dent into the battery, you know. Short the battery to the regulator, but that actually fits in there. Believe it or not, I've already checked. I know no one will believe this, but that fits in there. So I think I'm going to just use that. I don't have a protection circuit yet for this. So for now, because this cell can deliver a lot more current than what that cell can, and I don't think the little protection module on there is up to the job for the, that cell. That being said, I'm not really sure. I mean, if I was pulling more current through it or putting more current into it, it might be a problem, but I'm only going to be charging it at, I mean, these ones I'll charge at 1 amp. So I'll have to change the resistor on that module again, but yeah, I'm just going to think about this for a minute. And no, I can't fit another one in here. I've already tried that. There's not enough space. Wait, no way. That would be hilarious. Yeah, no, that's not going to happen. So I can only fit the one in there. But I'm just thinking, because the meter's not going to be pulling much current, so it's not like I'm going to be overloading the board. I'm only going to be charging it at 1 amp. I know the board can handle that too. And the only other thing I'm going to be using it for is the voltage protection. I'm sure its short circuit protection would still work too. It would just go open. You know what? Now I think about it, no, I can use that with this cell. It just means that if I was to try and use it in a higher current application, I wouldn't be able to pull the current out of it. Yeah, that's safe. That'll work. Sorry, I don't do much lithium ion stuff. Every so often I'm working on some huge pack that I'm making with BMS, like for my e-scooter build or something like that, but I mean, like the last time I built a pack was, I don't know, a year ago or something. It's not something I'm playing around with every day, so yeah. Anyways, that's what the plan is for that. The other thing I went and picked up was a couple of brand new, I'm just going to set the phone down here for a second. Couple of brand new jars of ammonium persulfate for etching circuit boards. So right now, sorry about that. Right now, what I'm going to do is get started on this. But after this, because I wanted to upload a video on circuit board etching, and the other day it really went to shit. For lack of a better term, honestly. So, because my persulfate solution was just no good. It was old and had pulled moisture out of the air and crystallized and gone off. Anyways, so I've got new stuff. Something I do need to make is a few little breakout boards for small SMD components, mainly SOT23 3-pin devices and little like SOI-T8 and SOI-T16, I think they are. The usual types, you know, that you get your dual and quad op amp packages in, TL431s, transistor devices in, stuff like that. Just the usual footprints. I need to make some breakout boards on PCB so that I can surface mount components on them and use them on breadboards and such. So I think what I'll do is I'll make a video on making some circuit boards up, and we'll just make up some breakout boards. That way I can get a video out on circuit board etching. Yeah, so without further ado, I'm gonna pause the video for now, have a think about how I want to do everything in here, and I'll be back in a minute. One other thing I just want to point out quickly, for the keen-eyed people out there that have spotted the existing USB port, that's already a nice chunky one that I, have plenty of cables for. If I was to connect that up, that will defeat the isolation on the USB. This controller communicates, I think, through an optocoupler or something in there, and that provides some isolation, and the optocoupler does too. I've already buzzed it all out. The 5-volt wires with the power spliced into them, they do not go to the 5-volt pins on the USB port. So that's a no-go. Otherwise, yeah, obviously I would just use the same port for charging and for data, but yeah, I don't want to do that. The reason is, although I'll probably be using it most of the time unplugged, what happens that one time that I leave it plugged in, or it's data logging, like it's plugged into the computer, logging data, you know, and then I go and do something stupid. No, I'm not taking that risk, so that's why it's going to be a separate charging port to the data port, all right? I just wanted to point that out. Okay, so I've had a bit of a think about what I'm going to do, and I'm just going to start doing it. So, firstly, I'm going to take these power wires that go to my boost converter back off the TP4056 module. We're gonna need to make these wires up a different length also, so I will remove them. Those people who solder will know what I mean when I say this, but just as I took that wire off, I got that terrible feeling that my soldering line was touching something else. Anyone that solders knows what I'm trying to say. It's not a good feeling. And for those of you who don't know what I'm trying to say, what I'm referring to is sometimes when you're soldering something, you're focusing at the tip, and you feel you're trying to like move the iron in a certain direction, but you feel resistance, and it feels like it's coming from the back somewhere, but not up here. It feels like somewhere around here, and you just know that part of the heated area is, you know, melting some plastic or a wire or something like that. It's quite a common thing, and it's annoying. Alright, so take those wires out of there. We'll get this battery out of here carefully without ripping this cable off the pads. Well, I guess we need to take this entire module off because we're not using this battery. We need this module and this module, but not those interconnecting wires anymore, because we're going to have things in different places now. So whatever works, right? Just move those to the side. Should completely remove them now. Alright. That double-sided tape is good. Strong. I need this board too. Beautiful. Can't complain. Okay, so that's the two boards I need. I grabbed two of those batteries, so when I need one for another project, I've got one on hand, because I'm sure I'm going to want one for something soon. Still got a lot of equipment and stuff to build in here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some heat shrink to put over these sleeves. Can I solder to these tabs? I'm going to be so annoyed if I can't solder to it. I think I can. Let's just see if I make a mess of it. Whoops. That's going to go that way. Alright, so there's extra length. I'm just going to try and solder to the very tip of it. Okay, yeah, it takes solder perfectly. That's what that's for. That's a solder tab. Alright. I'll get some heat shrink and put some heat shrink over that. I think 2 pieces like that will do the trick. Okay. Yeah, that works nicely. I'm very happy with that. This one's just a bit shorter. I'll just cut it a little bit shorter. Alright, that's good. So I'll heat shrink that now. Alright. There's a number on this board. It says 4136. I don't know if that's some like standard battery protection IC or whatever. But I just thought I'd mention it, just in case anyone out there is interested. Now, okay, so we're going to cut the tabs a bit shorter. And that'll do the trick nicely, I think. Yep. That's wonderful. I'll just flow one down first. Oh, okay. I didn't think that actually was going to flow down good like that, but it is. This other pad doesn't have as much solder on it, but it's good. Alright. Actually, did I tin that? Yes, I did. Okay. This is a little bit fiddly. My apologies for my hands being in the way. Oh, my soldering iron's gone to sleep. I think I was going to put some more solder on them. I realise it's going to pop off and I'm going to have to hold it down again, but I just want more solder in there. I'm just happy with that, you know. Alright. You know, I think I might just for good measure, I'm just going to go get a piece of Captain tape and I'm just going to put it underneath this along the battery too. Maybe a couple of pieces, I'll layer it up. One sec. Probably should have done this first. I think with a bit of trickery I'll be able to get it in, but yeah. Really should have done that first. Better late than never. Got to be very careful not to touch the components and short it. Alright. Well, that's that. Should I bother shortening that up? Yeah, why not? You know what? I want everything to be nice and good looking. Ooh. I've already memorized which wire goes where, so don't worry guys. The grey wire goes on top. Well, actually, that's even neater than the first time, and it was neat the first time I did it, so I can't complain. I'm happy with that. Cool. Keep that bent up straight like that. Because this board, I'm just going to mount basically there and have the USB port on the side there. I would put it on the same side as the switch, but the battery's only spot that it can fit is going to be in here somewhere. You know, probably have the... Oh, we've got some more plastic we can cut out the way. Bye-bye. Probably have that little protection board in the top here. That's where that's going to go. So the other thing that I don't like is the corner of this heatsink. I think I might cut it on a bit of an angle and then put something over it. Oh, well, I need a new pair of flush cutters. I really wasn't expecting them to break just trying to make a piece of aluminium. Jeez. What were they made out of? Alright, cool. I'm just going to go take that over to the Dremel and just smooth the edge down on that bit that I've cut. I'll be back in a moment. So I've filed the edge of that heatsink down now so it's nice and smooth. I've just got to come up with an idea as to what I'm going to put in there, because I want to put something there to stop the battery from touching it, period. I don't want the battery to be able to touch the heatsink at all. Also, I don't want the battery to be able to turn around and short out on the boost converter, but conveniently, once you get it past, see how it sort of rocks off the top cover there? Once you get it past that point, turn it around that way, it's basically stuck in the corner there. And then when you put the cover on, all the cabling and everything's all jammed in there too. I'm going to glue it in as well. But yeah, I just want to work out what I can put there to sort of stop it from touching that heatsink. Even though I've cut it down, I still don't want it to sit on the heatsink. You know what? That's actually a nice little gap. Now I've cut it. I wouldn't mind if the battery could sit exactly where it is. You know, there's little stubs of screw standoffs left that I could reuse. I think I might try and bracket it down. I'm gonna go see what scrap bits of metal I've got, and I'll come back. I'm gonna go look for some little thin piece of metal I can make a strap out of, and might be able to screw it between, say, that down there and that point there, like a band around the battery. We'll be back in a minute. Alright, I've had a look around and I can't find anything that I can use at the moment. All my mechanical bits and pieces of metal and engine parts and stuff like that I've got, it's all packed up in boxes at the moment because I'm in the middle of moving a whole load of stuff around in my house. I'm about to put a new shed out the back. Long story why my shed's missing at the moment. No, I didn't burn it down, but yes, someone did burn it down. Anyways, if you ever convert your shed into a granny flat, don't let someone stay there. Well, if they're an alcoholic, don't let them stay there. Anyway, with that being said, I am just going to drill a hole approximately there and loop a cable tie through here to here, pulling the battery sort of up so it'll just permanently be stuck in that corner. I'm okay with that, to be honest. You know, it doesn't really bother me. It's my own meter anyway. It's not like I'm selling this to someone. If I was selling this to someone, I would be putting standoffs and screw holes in the boards and mounting everything on standoffs, and I'd, you know, go online and buy a proper battery that I could fit in here properly. And yeah, I mean, this is just my own personal use. And the whole point of this was the fact that they charge like $100 to $150 more depending where you go for the model of this meter that comes rechargeable. And I was like, well, I'm not paying for that. I can do it myself for like 10, 20, 30 bucks, depending if I've got the parts here. I've got to buy them all. Look at it. I mean, it turns out I had to buy a few things. Wow, I might spend 10 bucks on that, maybe 20 bucks on that. 10 bucks, I can't remember. Maybe 10 bucks on that. Probably not even, you know, like not. These parts I already had lying around, I'd buy them, but I mean, still, for an extra 30, 40 bucks, I mean, I'm very happy over spending an extra 100, 150 bucks. And, you know, the power supply comes, you know, with a greater quality than what the original was with too. I'm just grabbing some wire. Actually, I'll take this off, I'll drill a hole in it, I'll grab some wire and I'll be back. I've already cleaned up a few things on the table here. I just want to point out, this is hilarious. The two little black plastic things that I slid off the brand new battery's terminals, they're just bits of heat shrink, and I went and cut 2 pieces of heat shrink that was already on it. I just thought I'd point that out. I thought it was kind of funny. Alright, so I'm just going to pause the video, go drill a hole there, get a couple of pieces of wire, and I'll be back. Alright, we're back again. I think I'll be able to reuse these 2 bits of wire. I'll change the length of them probably, or maybe the black one will stay. Yeah, the black one, oh, no, the black one goes there. Yeah, we'll reuse these 2 bits for the connection from the protected output to the boost module. But the TP4056 charge module, I've just gone and cut a couple. My cats are fighting. Sorry. I've cut a couple of longer wires to get over to where the charge module's actually going to be sitting. I'm just going to go and see what's going on with my cats because they're making some terrible sounds. I'll be one sec, guys. Tell you what, one of my cats has been going crazy lately. One of my other cats had 3 little kittens, and then one of another cat that didn't, not the one that had the 3 kittens, decided to try and like baby and steal the other cat's kids, and now she's cracking the shits with everyone and attacking everyone. She's gone bloody mental. One of the little kittens just ran in here. It's the one that always likes to come in here. This guy, he loves it. He loves it in the lab. Look at the camera. Oh, careful. Look up. No. He just wants to sit on the chair with me. Anyway. Oh, goodness. This is not the place for you, mate. I hate to spoil your fun. Don't get up there. No, you can't go up there. Oh, goodness. Cats. They're cute, but they can be troublesome. And they can make a bloody mess in your home, I'll tell you that too. The amount of vacuuming I have to do. Oh, goodness. Come on. Hey. No. Hey, listen, I don't want to have to take you out of here. Settle down. You can sit on the chair or you can leave. Come on, mate. Please. This is hard, guys, I tell you. I'm just wondering, I might need to make those pads just a little bit bigger here. No, I'll be alright. It's only small wire I'm using, I guess. Little one, I'm not talking to you. I think the little kitten keeps coming up to me because I'm talking. He thinks I'm talking to him, trying to say, come here, I'll give you cuddles or something like that. I'm not quite sure because I don't speak cat, but if I had to take a guess, I'd say that's... Buddy, come on. Sorry. I know I didn't mention this in the other video, but the reason I put the boost converter there is because the back of it is just a ground plane, that board, and it's on the back of the LCD, and that obviously goes to its own driver, and the backlight has its own driver. So I figured it would just be the best place to put it to minimize the risk of it coupling its noise into the circuitry, and also it's the furthest away from the circuit boards physically too. So that's just a no-brainer. That's why I did that. But just for the people out there that are learning, I thought I would just explain that one. You know why? Oh no, because I want to be able to open this. Yeah, I'll keep these wires the length they are basically. Just because I'm going to want to be able to open this, you know, to change the battery if it breaks, to work on it, upgrades, whatever. Upgrades as in charging circuit, battery, meter mods, whatever, you know, like, yeah, I want to be able to get into it, so that's why I've done the wiring like this, so that I can still fold it open even with all my permanently soldered connections. Because if I permanently soldered everything and I made it all short and tight, then I'd have to unsolder everything every single time I wanted to go in it, even just to change the battery, you know. And that would get annoying real fast. Not only it would be annoying, but it would be recklessly bad for the meter. I mean, you'd be constantly having to resolder everything all the time. Just wouldn't be good. I reckon I should be able to get this. Yep. It's all about the technique. I'm sure there's people that watch my videos that solder. I know, for the people out there who don't solder, we make it look easy. It is easy. It is easy. Give it a go. One thing I've got to say, and I really believe in what I'm about to say here, guys. I think people can do a lot more than what they allow themselves to do. You know, I think people shy away from stuff from fear. You know, and then they don't ever learn, right? But if they just gave it a try, they'd actually be able to do it. You know, soldering is certainly simple. You know, if you're into electronics, don't be shy to give it a try. Just don't start on, you know, an appliance or something that you care about, because you're probably going to wreck the board, you know. Build some little kits from J-Car, or make your own PCBs up, or play with some Vera board, strip board, whatever you want to call it, you know. Just, you know what? I think, oh, that's right. I thought the red wire was going to be in the way, but it's actually good. Yeah, just, you know, have a go, learn. Just don't practice on stuff that you care about, so you don't rip pads off and destroy brand new things. And then once you've learned, then start soldering everything. But don't be afraid to give it a go. It's actually quite fun, and it's not hard at all. And I'll tell you now, once you learn how to solder, you'll be surprised. You'll quickly come to find that your soldering is better than all the soldering you'll see in everything you buy these days. Everything's just built like crap, literally, these days. You'll find once you become used to soldering, your soldering skills will be better than most of the stuff that you see inside. Alright, so I think I'll just put a little dab of glue, that contact cement that I used to hold this board in place. I think I'll put a dab of that on the battery too, just up in the corner there. Or I could drill another hole and put another cable tie there, or I could just leave it how it is. It's not going to go anywhere. Anyway. Just trying to find somewhere to hold those wires so I can tin them. What do you know, soldering iron's gone to sleep again. I've got to hurry up and order that 6-core silicon lead for this. It's actually starting to get that annoying now, especially now I've been doing these videos for YouTube. Because I'm finding, because I'm doing this in between my work, like my job that I do a couple of days a week. I'm doing it in between that, cleaning the house, taking care of the cats, my own activities. So I'm like pausing and cutting videos together and whatnot, and leaving the iron on all the time, like walking in and out, coming back to it. You know, it's always falling asleep, and then I pick the handle up and it doesn't come back on. I used to be used to that. The thing is, before I was making videos, I'd sort of just come in here and sit down and work for a couple of hours, and if I was soldering, I was just doing everything straight away and then putting it down, and it would usually, you know, it would still be on, because I'd get all the stuff done straight away. I wasn't like talking and, yeah, taking my time basically. I'd just come in and do what I had to do straight away, and yeah. Only if I had to stop and think about something and modify something and it wasn't going to plan, then the unit would fall asleep on me. But if I was just coming in and doing something, it would be alright. But now I'm doing it in little bits, and I'm leaving it on for longer periods of time. It's not working for me. I'm getting tempted to just, I still got the other handle and the other lead, so I can quite easily just swap the wire back over, or even just put the other handle on there. But I like the silicon lead more, not just because it's heat proof, but the flexibility of it. It's just easier to work with. I just realised those wires were touching stuff in the live. That's not good. Wasn't thinking about that. That just wants a bit more solder, that red wire. Right. I'm just going to get a couple bits of plastic and crap out of here. Alright. I'm happy with that. So that's basically how it's going to go. Let me just close it up quickly and see about the whole tape thing. You know, I'm going to have to mount this board first because I don't want it to risk touching something and shorting out. Do these batteries come with charge in them? Yes, they do. Okay. Alright, well, I actually haven't worked out how I'm going to mount this thing yet because, as you can see, it doesn't really have anything to mount it, so yeah, all I can really do is glue the board down to the case, cut a hole in the side. Maybe if the glue breaks I can come back and re-glue it and put a cable tie through here, like drill a hole either side behind the USB socket there, so that the cable tie stops it from getting pushed in when you plug it in and unplug it. But yeah, I'll pause the video, I'll go cut a little hole for the USB and I'll come back. I've just been, I've cut the hole and I know it's a little bit messy, but I tried to mimic the sort of USB shape. It is the bigger plug. So I'll show you, like it's not too terrible. Oops. When it's in there. And as far as clearance, it actually works perfectly for the length of the plug to go in. Like that's as far as I can push it into the board and there's still a little bit of clearance, see? So it's plugged in all the way is what I'm trying to get at. The plastic's not keeping the plug out of the socket a little bit. So I'm happy with that. I just need to mount that board flush there and I can literally just plug it in. That's wonderful. So I'm going to pause again and think about how I'm going to do this. Oh, there's already vents there, isn't there? Ah, there's little vents on the back there. Just thinking. Might be able to get... I'm going to go see if I've got some small cable ties. I'll be back in a moment. Alright, unfortunately, I do not have smaller cable ties than these big ones. But I was just having a look at one and it's not actually as big as it looks in width. Yeah. You know what? I might... maybe I won't do that. Let's see. That's not going to work like that. Oh, you know what I should have grabbed whilst I was at J-Car? The bloody flush cutters that I broke that were already going blunt anyway. I already needed to grab a new pair and Yeah, that's not going to work in that hole. I should have grabbed some whilst I was there. This always happens to me. Whenever I go somewhere, I'm like, oh man, I should have got this. I think I'm just going to just mark and drill. Do it with the drill, yeah. Just put a cable tie straight across that. And I use the contact cement too, or maybe just, yeah, I use the contact cement. Maybe a little bit of double-sided tape or something, I'm not sure yet. I'll pause the video and I'll work out what I'm going to do, possibly drill holes. Alright, so I ended up just cutting 2 horizontal sort of holes in there between the vents that sort of go on a diagonal angle. And that sits perfectly in between them. Yeah, that's good, that'll hold it in. So we're going to loop this through. And what I'm going to do, I think, yeah, see that fits perfectly like that. Just wondering. I don't want to glue it because I know I'm going to want to take it out, change the charge current on it. Oh, yes. I haven't done that yet. You know what? How long would it take to charge a cell that big at 500 milliamps? I haven't done the math on that. I'd rather charge my cells slower than faster. Yeah. Just, you know, I can't use my phone right now. I was going to say just pause the video and use the calculator, but if I pause the video, I'll have to stop it and then splice it together. I'd rather just Oh, this is a tough one. What do I want to do? Do I want to leave it at 500 milliamps or do I want to go up to an amp? You know what? I'm going to get the 1.2k resistor and change it. I'm going to go up to an amp. This is a 5000 milliamp cell. Give me 1 sec. Actually, you know what? I don't know that the little board that I soldered on here can actually handle an amp. I'm just going to leave it. I'm just going to leave it at 500 milliamps. It's alright. If it takes all night to charge, it takes all night to charge. It doesn't really matter. I'll be asleep. Here's what I'm thinking of doing. Putting this like looped under this cable tie, but I'm thinking about getting just one of those little double-sided tape squares and cutting it down so it's not the full length, because I want to block off. I want to block off this least amount of airflow as I can off the case where the venting is. I'm thinking, yeah, I'll just cut a little piece of that. Oh, actually, you know what? Instead of one of these squares, I think I'll just use, where's that the end of it? That's the end of that roll. That's alright, I've got more. Yeah, I think I'll just cut a piece of this. Oh, that's a perfect fit. Oh, that's what we're doing. That'll just give it something to, yeah, essentially just a sticky base. It's not to hold it there, it's to stop it from sliding back. With the cable tie squeezing it against this and the back of the multimeter case, because it's sticky, it'll stop it from moving around. And the board can't slide back anyway because the cable tie will be up behind the USB socket there. Okay, so that's where I want in the board. It's so good. Let's just give it a test run. I think that's actually perfect. Like the plug, look at that. Let's just see. Oh, I am so happy. Well, there it is. It's battery powered now. And more importantly, rechargeable. Yeah, I'm just going to leave that battery there. I was going to put a bit of glue in there, but that's just going to make it hard to change the battery in the future. It's sort of a bit springy there, like between the cable ties tension. I'll show you what I mean. The battery's sort of, so it's got that bit of spring to it. And that's just resting against the capacitor on the back of the boost regulator board. So that's perfect. I'm really happy with that. I'm going to do the screws back up on the case now. Where's my screwdriver? Well, that's the multimeter battery conversion done. I guess I do have a couple of ugly cable ties sticking out the back of my multimeter, and where the IEC connector was, we now have, what's going on here? Oh no, please don't tell me I've just screwed a wire in. No, I'm just being an idiot, cross-threading plastic. Come on, we need to do that up a little tighter. Yeah, I mean there's an IEC slot, a heatsink where the IEC slot was. I don't think I could do that up anymore. Oh, okay. You know, something I don't like about the design of this meter, and this isn't anything to do with me, because as you can see the USB board already had its cable there. But those wires literally sit rubbing up against the back of those high rupture current fuses. I just wouldn't have designed my meter like that. I would have, if I had to absolutely put the wires there, I would have just sort of made, what do you call it, like a bracket to sort of stitch the wires, not stitch them, I can't think of the word I'm looking for. Something to hold the wires in place basically, so they're not just flapping around in the breeze. And, you know, yeah, like little tie downs or something. Oops. That's one screw in. I'm using the wrong screwdriver here because I don't have, actually, you know what, I do have the right size one, but for the bottom two screws I don't. That's why I'm just using this for all the screws. It's all good, but okay, that's not good. I swear this was the screwdriver I've been using. Maybe it's just because I'm impatient and I'm rushing. Oh, I can't do this. Just the sound of those screws getting munched up, it's just, I can't. this would fit better. Much better. Oh, there's a screw in there already. Wait, what? I put the wrong colour screw in here. Is that why I've got the wrong amount of screws? I remember there was four silver. Wait, where is the fourth one? What? I hate that when I lose a screw on my workbench, because the first thing that goes through my mind is has it jumped into something like, you know, like the power supply that I'm working on, or anything really. Let's hope not. What am I doing? Alright, I want these screws. Oh, you know what? I think I just put it in the meter. Yeah, this end screw. It doesn't even really matter. They're all the same screw. It's just that there's 5 that are sort of goldish that were for the back cover, and then there's 4 that were for the flyback that was originally in it, and they're like a silvery colour. Oh, this screwdriver does fit the back. I didn't think it was long enough to reach down in there. It just reaches. Alright. I'll just move this off to the side for a second. That's its feet back on. That doesn't look too bad. USB port on the side, charging indicator, and an actual power switch, so when it's off, it's actually off, not in standby. Let's get some USB power. Let's see if this works. There we go. Charging indicator. Alright. What happens if you run it at the same time as you're charging it? Oh, apparently it just keeps charging. That's cool. Actually, you know what? That's really cool, because I remember measuring the current on this, and the current draw was like less than 500 milliamps. I could just run this off power if I want to anyway. This is great. I'm very happy. The only thing that I think I will end up implementing into this build in a later video, I mean, obviously I still want to get rid of this sounds that the screen makes, which I've checked, it still does do it. I don't know if you guys can hear that. I can. So when I sit on top of my scope, I don't know if you guys can hear that or not, but it makes a high-pitched sound, and it's been in some of my videos. And it's only when the backlight's on 100% like that. See if I can actually get that so you guys can see it. It only shuts up when you go to 100%. But anyway, as I was saying, the one thing that I am going to want to implement on this is a low battery indicator, because I currently don't have any way other than just when it turns off of knowing that it's going flat. But yeah, I've already thought about that. That's just going to be a future thing to look into. Just like I want to change a 10 ohm resistor that's on the board of this that gets too hot, and I want to get rid of the high pitch whine from the backlight. That's going to be an upcoming project. This was just getting a better supply and battery backup system going. So that's accomplished. It now charges up off of USB, what is it, B or mini or micro? It's a micro. I forget what this one's called, but there we go. That's that job complete. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next video. Take it easy and happy tinkering.